Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be discussing the magical tool, the Cauldron. Arguably, I said that correctly, right?
Arguably?
Arguably?
Yeah.
That's one of those, like...
I just, like my tongue, you heard me trying to say whatever, like literally a minute ago, so I just figured it was one of those.
It's definitely a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Anyway, arguably. Did I say it wrong again?
There's no D.
Anyway, you know what the hell I
yes.
mean. Okay, I'm not even going to...
Without a doubt.
One of the most recognized witches' tools.
Oh yeah, like during the research I read so many times, like, every witch has one, and it's like, I mean, but do they? I mean, I mean,
several, if you classify maybe like a cooking pot could be considered a cauldron, or a crock pot.
A crock pot, a modern cauldron. I don't know. I just go, like, I hate generalizations in general. Mm-hmm. But that said, I found it to be, I have cauldrons because I was gifted my first one, and then I was like, oh, it's that little one that I use for incense, you know?
Oh yeah, I have a little one. Yeah.
Yeah, and
my
so
cauldron's small.
Yeah.
These ones are beautiful. They're so beautiful.
It is.
But if you're a witch, a practicing witch, and you don't have a cauldron, well, you probably do in your house, because a cauldron is... I mean, doesn't the word cauldron literally translate to cooking pot as well as like a couple other things?
Not exactly, because a cauldron is more than just a cooking pot. Mm-hmm. Like, back when cauldrons came about, originally everybody cooked in clay pots or jugs. And the way you cooked in those clay things they had before cauldrons existed was you would put hot stones. So you'd heat your stone in the fire. Then you would put whatever you're going to cook in your cooking utensil in liquid. Then you would drop hot stones into that liquid, and that's how your shit would cook.
Really? That's really interesting.
So then cauldrons came around, and all of a sudden... You don't have to deal with the hot stone or fishing the stone out at the end.
Oh God, I bet that sucked, because they didn't have tongs.
Right, that's right. Exactly. And like cauldrons, like we were talking about before we went on air, like it went from you had to cook everything in all these separate little clay jugs to now, depending on the size of your cauldron, you can cook multiple things at a time, because in the Middle Ages,
was so cool.
I know, like they would have something on the bottom, and then they would have a rack made out of twigs, and then other stuff, and like compartments made out of wood and twigs, and then like some of those clay jars that they used to cook in. Now they didn't have to put a hot stone in it. They could just fill it with whatever and put it in the cauldron.
So I think when people think cauldron, then they automatically assume stew.
Exactly. I used to too before this episode.
Still do, and not just any stew, bomb ass stew.
Well, see, I think cauldron, and I think witch's potion.
Oh, really?
Whether it's edible or just... well, I mean, a kitchen witch, you could make a potion, and it's hot apple cider. You know what I mean? So, like, there's all sorts of ways that, potion can be translated from cauldron. But I definitely... My first thought is witch's brews, like straight out of Macbeth. So, real quick, because I took the goddamn time to write it down... Straight out of Macbeth, I think my first thought with cauldrons is round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. That's the whole thing, and that is my first thought when I come to cauldrons.
So mine is the
second thought is stew.
But like,
yum.
I really like the song from Harry Potter 3 when they're like, in the cauldron boiling big, fillet of a finny snake.
You know what?
Scale of dragon to the wolf. Yeah.
This research, knowing how it was used in the Middle Ages, like, legit makes that song make more sense, because you could bake in a cauldron.
So, like, in all seriousness, though...
Look it up. You could.
Oh shit! What was I saying?
That you like the song.
I do like
in
the
all
song. Oh,
seriousness,
potions in the cauldron.
That's the
fuck,
witchiest shit ever.
Yeah, but the fuck you're gonna need that much of a potion for? It seems
Well,
like a
I mean,
waste
it depends on
the size.
the size of your
well,
cauldron,
like I
right?
imagine people think hocus pocus huge cauldron.
Right. Well,
I guess
and that
it makes
was like
sense
it does.
they were
Like
gonna feed
that was
it
a
to all
status
the
symbol
children.
for
Right.
one. Oh yeah, they were gonna feed it to all the
But
children.
that seems like a waste of herbs.
I was
in my
still
opinion.
thinking group cooking.
Oh,
still
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
like you could make a feast in that cauldron.
Well,
they were
cook
planning on
children.
Yeah, they
in
were
the
planning on
cauldron.
making a feast of souls. If you haven't checked it out yet, we did Hocus Pocus last episode. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go back one after you finish listening to Cauldron.
Also, get out from underneath the rock that you're under because Hocus Pocus is easily one of.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it's like Halloween.
I literally during our break on Twitter, I was on our Twitter and somebody had said, "What's like your favorite, like most nostalgic Halloween movie?" And for them, it was Halloween Town, and I said,
love Halloween Town. I was gonna mention that we were talking cauldrons. I'm like Halloween Town, baby.
Right. Well, and I said Hocus Pocus, which we're about to record an episode for, and then I shared a GIF that was. When a friend tells me they've never seen Hocus Pocus, and it's the three ladies like pulling back, you know?
Oh yeah, like
and
shocked.
Yeah, exactly. Because when people are like, "I'm not really into Hocus Pocus," I'm like,
What did you do for Halloween?
Yeah, like,
how old are you?
Yeah, like I don't understand that sentence.
But I do truly love Halloween Town.
I think my kids probably watched it, but I was too old for Halloween Town when it came out.
Like,
you know,
I love it. There's like they're making a potion and they're having to get things like I think it's like fur of a werewolf. So they go into like this barber
That's
shop.
my
You
favorite thing
remember?
about cauldrons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like just the random ass shit. Like what else did they have to get?
I think it was
They
like
went to
tooth
a
of a vampire. Tooth of a vampire. So they went to like a dentist. And he's like, this one's gonna have to come out.
So in Halloween Town, are werewolves just openly living in shit?
It's called Halloween Town because that's where all the magical like vampires, werewolves, they all live in Halloween Town.
There is a Halloween cartoon that I love, and the kids always loved watching it. And I think it was like a movie from a show that we watched, but I can't remember. But it was like that where like everything went during the off season.
Yes, pretty much.
But it was a cartoon movie, like on Cartoon Network. It wasn't Halloween
It's pretty
Town,
much like that.
Because Halloween Town's like real life, and there's multiples, right?
Yes. I love.
So cauldrons are big.
Oh yeah, they're witches.
Well, of course.
She has to make a potion, I'm pretty sure, to like wake everybody up because they're under a hex.
Yeah. I love now that you mentioned movies and cauldrons, I love in Teen Witch, she makes everything like in her. She doesn't actually make everything in her cauldron, but she makes a lot of potions in her cauldron, and it's always got like smoke rising out of it and shit. And like she turned a frog into a prince, but he couldn't talk, and she's like, "That's okay, I don't need you to talk anyway." It's the little lady from Poltergeist.
Oh,
she's like the head witch in Teen Witch. That's like, you know, identifies the girl in Teen Witch as a witch and is like her mentor. But like she also wants to use the girl's power because the girl's powerful. Sure. And I don't mean in a shitty way, but like, you know, as a witch.
And I'm sure in like early 1900s. I know. I'm like,
I want to. My favorite thing to do, YouTube, is this: walk around my house like this.
Is that how you smoke? Or you cleanse?
Mm-hmm. I will cleanse my house like that. I will also just put something in the cauldron. And
much bigger space.
Yeah. That's why.
So have you seen me periodically blowing it away?
We're trying to breathe.
Yeah, for reals. I'm like,
yeah. I don't know. Like, I love that the cauldron is literally, since it was invented, it's every fucking where. And
and that's what I was gonna say. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, and when they find them, like, they're almost always repaired because, like, they always have fixed it because they're used so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when somebody owns it, like, it's a practical thing for daily life and spiritual use. Exactly. What were you going to say?
Well, and you know, speaking of cauldrons and pop culture, in the early 1900s, you've got the little cartoons and like newspapers, and
Yes,
they've got
it's
all the
always a
witches
witch.
and cauldrons.
Yes.
Oh my God! Wait, doesn't that bitch in Wizard of Oz have a cauldron?
I believe she does.
So is that how she sees her?
I think so.
She's like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, so would you think that Galadriel's magic mirror, that's the thing of water, would that count as a cauldron? She looks into it and she can see that which is that which that which has happened, that which may come to pass, whatever. She sees the future, she sees the not future.
I think so, because I actually read during my research for this episode that cauldrons can be used for divination, in the sense that like either you read the smoke coming out of them, or some people will fill them with water, and because they're black, you look in and you see. You're using your own
with a black
Yes,
mirror.
exactly.
Oh my fucking God!
Or you can add a little
water
thing.
in you.
Which actually you should do this, because like I don't have a cauldron, but now I'm like I want to try this. Those little containers we have for our oils. The Amber has oils available in her shop, and they come in like these little containers.
Yes.
Anyway, you can like untwist it or whatever it is. Bitch, I'm sorry. Like, and now I'm just talking. I'm like, you could make a scrying oil, like specifically. Anyway,
Oh shit!
I know, like either
That's
personally
fucking,
or like whatever.
yes.
But I was reading that you like take off the top and then you pour it in either a clockwise position or like in this way, and then you see how the oil sits on top of the water, and then you see what you see. I had just read that.
Fucking cool.
Is that not awesome?
That is awesome.
I mean, some people use it with like candle wax. I personally don't think that's a good idea, because you don't want to ruin the cauldron.
Yeah.
But oil,
It's
the
good for
cauldrons
cauldron.
love
Yeah,
oil.
yeah,
right?
exactly. No,
Especially
that's awesome.
if you want to use olive oil, or you could make a blend.
No, I'm thinking unto the veil oil. Like,
Oh my God.
it's made for crossing the veil.
Exactly. Like a
Yeah.
special blend or something. That would be
Fuck yeah.
great, I think.
I think so too, because cauldrons are super associated with witchcraft, because cauldrons are representative of the womb and creation, and creation and women's work because of cooking, and so it all kind of comes full circle. So like they have become they made themselves a necessity in
Right.
life, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they made themselves a part of our spiritual practice out of usefulness and versatility.
Exactly.
Because like that one thing that you had shown me, I had specifically written it down so I could talk about it, and that was the Gunderstrop cauldron from 200 BC, and it had so much imagery on it that they are convinced it was made for spiritual use.
Oh yeah, they had
because
all
it was like
different
super
sorts of
fine. It
shapes.
wouldn't have been good for cooking. It was made out of silver. But like, and they've found so many. They found a cauldron that was still full of fucking meat from like 2000
That was bad.
BCE. Oh, I'm sorry, 1st century before current era.
Well,
And
disclaimer,
that was in
just while we're talking about
Baldock
cauldrons,
burial from the Bronze Age.
if you cook with your cauldron, if you get water in your cauldron, like we were just talking, you're gonna want to dry that shit out.
Yes, it is. Most of
put
them are
it on
cast iron.
Put it on a fire.
Yes,
literally.
like if you're gonna
dry
get a
it out.
cauldron, spend the money for cast iron.
Right.
You know, unless it's for decorative or divination purposes, then different metals. But
I would
metal
even
and
say
water equals rust, like
I
Maddie's
would say
saying.
for even divination purposes, make sure it's cast iron, because if you do the water thing,
Well, like I've seen some gorgeous bronze cauldrons and silver cauldrons, and I have, for scrying purposes, it's not a cauldron, but it's a fucking horn. It's a horn bowl. It's awesome. It's made out of a bull's horn.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, but I just I like cast iron, but I've seen so many other ones, and it makes sense to me that other metals would be good for divination, not for cooking or making, potions or foods in. That's why I say, if you're gonna get a cauldron, spend the money on a good cast iron one. I agree with you, but I do think for divination that
it does,
the bronze and silver would be good for certain things, especially. Some witches, they work with a lot of specific metals, too. So I think, if you are drawn to bronze, and you want a cauldron for divination, a bronze cauldron might not be a bad idea.
Well, and I have read if you cook in a cast iron cauldron, it also adds a little bit of iron to your food.
Oh.
So it, gets that iron
in your
supplement.
blood.
Like, literally,
energy.
it does. It really
Literally,
does.
oh my fucking god. Okay, so cauldrons are associated with regeneration because they're associated with the womb and earth, right?
Birth, yeah.
You know, and like, yeah, what comes out of the earth is the food that keeps us alive, and it's the whole cycle thing, right? So, you say that when food is cooked in the cauldron, it gives off part of its iron.
Yes.
So I go
cast iron skillets too.
Right. So I go. It literally becomes a part of you, right?
Oh,
and it does. Like the iron goes into you. It like generates your blood with iron. You need iron in your blood to like have a healthy life and shit. So like it literally is for regeneration on a regular basis, as well as like from a magical perspective, because we were talking Bran's cauldron. The individuals can be brought back to life in Bran's cauldron, but they can't speak. And one writer has written a theory that they can't speak because they can't speak about the things they saw when they were beyond the veil.
Oh, I
of the
believe
cauldron.
it. I believe that.
But my thought was, does the cauldron keep their magic and like feed off of that magic, and it's their soul that allows them to talk and communicate and be human, and that's what stays with the cauldron, and only the life regenerates. You know what I mean? Like the body.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Because like, where does the cauldron get its magic from? It's a whole cycle, right? So it's giving us part of it. Wouldn't it make sense if it's taking part of us?
Huh. I'm sorry, what herb was that?
Holy basil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's mugwort. I'm tripping, everybody.
I just thought, you know.
I imagine you would have said if it was mugwort.
Yeah, no, I would have said if it was mugwort smoke, we would have been breathing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the Palo Santo's still going, just not super heavy. Do you want me to put more basil on?
No, it's fine. No.
Happy to breathe clear air. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. We did that just for you, YouTube. That was all for you. And
so like and subscribe.
Damn straight. We love
but
you.
But the thing I
Thanks
love
for
about
watching.
cast iron for sure though is if there's not a hole in it, odds are you can fucking save it.
Yeah, absolutely.
For real. Like
Yeah,
cast irons will last.
Oh yeah. As long as you take care of it. Again,
yes.
Metal does not like water, but it does like oil.
Right. Yeah, and you can use coconut oil, olive oil. Well, maybe not olive oil. It's got a low smoking point. But you can definitely use coconut oil. That's what I would use.
Always do the thing with your cast iron before you use it for cooking. What's that word? You have to like
season it.
Mm-hmm. Always season. Do not use unseasoned cast iron, people. If you are not a cast iron person, if you don't know, seasoned. It's important. Google it. Google seasoning cast iron. No, you're not flavoring it. It's to make it last longer. It won't rust it's not likely to rust when you wash it afterward. But when you wash your cast iron, you have to immediately dry it. Like Maddie was saying, like no water. Water's not friends with metal, and oil is. Just remember.
So this is gonna be crazy.
This was our TED Talk on cast iron.
Do your own research. Do
yes,
your
like
own
I said,
research.
Google it.
But Grandma said don't use soap on cast iron.
We don't.
But modern cast iron things, you can.
Can you?
You can. You shouldn't, but
Corey will.
Yeah, you shouldn't, but you can. Again, disclaimer: do your own motherfucking research. Because if I'm wrong, I don't want you to ruin your cast iron.
Right, because cast iron's
But I'm pretty
expensive.
sure I had read that you can do it on modern,
I mean, that makes sense.
Pioneer woman.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
Oh, I want a Pioneer woman cast iron. That bitch has got some good stuff. I'll tell you that much.
Man,
she's got a cast iron pumpkin. It's like
that's
a cast
cute.
iron.
That's right. I saw that.
I want it.
Are they at?
They're at
Walmart. Yes, I had seen that at Walmart. Didn't they come in different colors, like teal and shit? I will say that my husband will tell you. Enamel coated cast iron does not work as well as regular cast iron.
No, it doesn't.
The enamel coating does affect the heat transfer, which heat transfer is why cast iron is the best for
Pioneer Woman sponsor us.
Please, dude. My kitchen would love you.
Oh my god, be like, oh look at this. This is a cast iron from Pioneer Woman. We got it for free.
Right.
Like
Holla holla! I got like a Pioneer Woman utensil set in there. Like
yeah, it's fucking nice.
It is.
I have
love
a Pioneer
it.
Woman
the colors,
knife.
Like the teal pumpkin would go perfect with those.
I have the teal knife. It's a teal knife, and it's got like flowers on it. It's
God,
my best.
I've got flowers on it.
No lie, it's my best knife that we have. Granted,
sponsor us, bitch.
Like it really is. Like, yeah, damn. My mother-in-law bought me for Christmas. She bought everyone. I'm not even gonna make the comment I want to make. She bought all 6 children a whole Pioneer Woman like set of pots and pans.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what my red ones are. Pioneer Woman, love them.
Fuck yeah.
Love them. Oh my god. I made a simmer pot, which you can do in your cauldron.
Yup. And it's witchy as hell. It's a potion. It smells your house up nice.
Don't forget it, because I fucking did. I did.
Yeah.
I forgot my cauldron. I'm like, damn, what's the hell? What's that smell?
What does it smell? It's kind of raunchy.
And then I went in there and, well, my pan has been soaking for 3 days. I've been changing the water, adding more soap. I can't kill that pan. That's a Pioneer Woman pan. That's an expensive fucking pan.
Yeah.
So I'm so upset because I had periodically been refilling the water, because you can do that. You know what I mean?
You totally can.
And I forgot to refill it the last time, and I was like, damn.
That is the danger of simmer pots. So, like,
but
always,
my husband did come in, and he was like, that smells so good. Are you making, like, a sweet meat? Because, check out my TikTok if you haven't. I've got the recipe. I put, which is at Peace, Love, and Tea Leaves.
Nice.
But I put apple slices and basil. I put a lot of lavender, because I'm a huge fan of lavender. Lemon slices. I may or may not have put orange slices. I can't remember. But I did put a lot of lavender, and I added honey to the simmer pot. Not everybody does, but I did, and it gave it a amazing sweet scent.
And it would kind of be like a floral, I would imagine.
Oh, definitely. The lavender and the honey came through. Oh my gosh. My husband literally thought I was making a sweet meat, like awesome. Ham and pineapple or something like that.
I like to use my cauldron in what apparently is the most traditional modern witch way, which is I collect ashes in there, and I like to make my black salt with the ash that comes from my...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
I haven't
incense
made black
ash
salt
and stuff.
in so long. I used the last of mine, and then I never remade it.
I made so much black salt last time I made it. And I've just literally like been throwing it in the fire when we have fires out back or in the fireplace, like trying to use it because I have so much. Yeah.
You know, I'm going through this huge, like, new, I guess maybe it's an awakening or maybe it's just like whatever, where I'm wanting to create more. Maybe it's just a creative phase. Maybe it's a manic phase. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I should definitely make some of that, because I'm making a salve. It's rosemary and lavender. So excited about that. I'm gonna be making that tomorrow. I'm gonna give some to Amber to try. If it's really good, like, I may or may not post me making it. I may not, because it's not pretty, you guys. It's not. You be spilling shit everywhere.
Right?
Like,
no, I'm
and you see on, like, TikTok, people are like, oh, I'm making a salve in my cauldron. You know they did that shit like 30 times.
Right?
I'm like,
it looks nice.
I know. I'm like spilling shit everywhere.
TikTok,
but I would love to make some more black salt, because I use the shit out of mine. I put it, like, in front of my door.
Yep. I love my black salt. I use it for, like, everything. But
it's so protective.
I've just been wanting to make more, so I need to use what I have. But also during this research, like, okay, so one thing I like to do with my cauldron is, like, the last time I got tarot cards, I like to put my cards in my cauldron and leave them with some crystals and the ash that's been in there.
Oh, really?
For, like,
so
3
do you
days.
set them like this or like this?
I put them in there, like, standing up, usually. Like, I'm not trying to get them dirty.
Right.
I'm trying to cleanse them.
Right.
That's what I do. And so, like, and I put the lid on, you know, and I leave them in there for, like, 3 days. And then when I was doing all this reading, it's, like, talking about, you know, putting things in the cauldron, like Caradwyn's cauldron or Dagda's cauldron or Bran's cauldron, and it regenerates. And, you know, and I was like, wow, like, that kind of made, it was like this, like
intuitive thing.
Yes, exactly. It made me feel kind of good. I was like, wow, I love that, like, that connection that put something in there to become new, to be fresh, like it's mine now. Like it's not got all this energy from the factory or the store from the person that put it on the shelf and all that stuff. Yeah, it was just kind of a cool like connection because like as we were talking, there's an amazing amount of Celtic lore with cauldrons.
Oh, so much. You know. Well, I mean, that's how they cooked a lot of.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, and I mean that again. The cauldron made itself a part of every part of life by being a part of everyday life.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I think one of my favorite stories that I read about the cauldron, I'm going to bring up the Dionysus one. So, obviously, which I'm not going to say too much because I think we may do a future episode where we cast those people.
100%. Yeah, keep your eyes out this winter. I think it's a great winter episode.
I think so too.
It's cooking.
Right.
Making a stew.
So, cauldrons are associated with Dionysus. I know that's fucked up.
I know. I'm sorry.
Because, well, he's the god of wine and mead. And how do you make wine and mead?
You gotta put, like cauldrons were the original pressure cooker.
Exactly.
They would explode if you like left them unattended too long. Yeah, yeah, because like when you packed it full of food, like we were talking about, like, and all that, and you put the lid on, and it's got the liquid in, it's building up pressure, and like it's a heavy lid, you know.
Right.
So if you don't let the steam off every now and again, it would explode.
Oh God, I believe.
Yeah.
It.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your
thank
story.
God
but
for modern cauldrons, crock pots.
Also, pressure cookers will fucking explode. Anybody that's seen Radio Flyer?
I do not have one because I'm terrified.
Yeah, like the newer ones are not as likely, but the old ones definitely could.
And you can burn yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
God. No, thank you.
Yeah, like I'm afraid of our Instapot steam thing. I'm like,
ow. I don't know what that was. Maybe that was
just a fake steam.
No, maybe it was. I'm like, wow, did I just fake? No, I think I pinched myself. Oh my God.
Timing was perfect.
I think that Amber's a fucking witch. Anyway. So Dionysus.
Yes.
Or Dionysus,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, not going to get too in-depth with it, but either he pissed someone off or someone found him or something like that, and they were like, we're going to eat this motherfucker. So they literally cut him up into pieces, stuck him in the cauldron, and were eating him in a stew, like Hannibal Lecter style. Like, except for they didn't have a nice shanty. And they didn't have any mushrooms, probably.
And Ray Liotta wasn't drooling on himself. God, that scene kills me every time. Feeding a man his own brain. Sorry, you brought up Hannibal Lecter.
Please stop. I'm going to have an anxiety attack. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh, you've never seen that one?
Don't tell me!
Oh, don't watch the other Hannibal Lecter movies.
Oh my God, I'm going to have anxiety now. Like, whew, that was scary.
You haven't seen that one?
No,
wow.
Please don't mention it. Like, anyway. So they're eating this guy. And Zeus shows up.
Sticks him in his leg.
Yeah, and Zeus, like, I think the only thing that was left was, like, his heart or some shit like that. And Zeus ends up, like, either sticking him in his leg or impregnating a mortal woman. And then he's reborn as Dionysus. But
fucking weird.
Again, when we cast this shit for the next episode, who's gonna be Emma Roberts? Dionysus.
It's gotta be whoever decides that he's gonna get cooked. Anyway, we'll have to read and figure that one out.
So excited about that.
Bitch. I don't know, like
I was also
so.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I was so amazed at all the cauldron lore. Like, at the end, I got, like, sucked into this whole, like, big, long thing, but essentially the Holy Grail is a cauldron.
Oh, yeah, I had read that, like, with,
That's, I read that the Holy Grail Christian lore is based off of pagan lore, because the Holy Grail didn't enter Christian mythology until the 12th century.
You know, I had also read the Holy Grail, or maybe I saw it on a movie, that the Holy Grail is actually not really a Holy Grail, but in fact symbolism for a woman, because what does the Holy Grail?
A womb.
A womb, exactly.
Cauldron in the womb. And Holy Grail in the womb.
I believe it. I'm sorry, listener from
Washington.
DC.
I don't. The Bible itself is an entire allegory, so I'm still of the mind that it really is a pagan myth about a cauldron of transformation and resurrection. Like, definitely, 1,000,000%. I loved, though, reading that the Holy Grail comes from pagan lore.
I believe it, yeah.
That made me
oh my
happy.
God, don't even. Like,
well, I mean,
for some
whole
reason there's
religion
been
comes
like
from
this.
pagan
No,
stuff,
you are
but...
so right. You are so right. But like, for some reason, Halloween's coming around and Facebook is just going off with Satanism and cauldrons are evil. You know, and oh no, I actually saw a funny TikTok, you guys, where it was like, witches can actually enchant and cast spells and hex candies that they give out to your children. And it's like,
what witch is going to waste her energy on your candy?
Yeah, not only that, but like,
why?
You know what
like,
I mean?
I bless this candy with love and light. All of these children will have a happy Halloween night. I'm going to dip my candy! Yes, oh my God.
Oh my God, Amber's the witch they're talking about.
I am kind of famous in my neighborhood because, like, we like to give out Halloween toys as well as candy because I'm well aware that there are a lot of kids that don't have a very big sweet tooth, don't like chocolate, or for whatever health reason or personal reason they don't like candy, you know what I mean? They'd rather have those little toys, but not everybody gives out toys, you know? But I loved getting like the pencils and the stickers and shit, so we always do that. And like, we get the little body part bags from like Dollar Tree, like, so, and we'll put just like dismembered fingers and eyeballs and shit in there. And the little like 10, 12-year-old boys in our neighborhood, the first year we lived here, they got so fucking excited. They were like, oh my God, they didn't even care about the candy. They were like picking out eyeballs and fingers and shit. That's what they wanted. So like every year I get more toys and more toys. And like the kids fucking love them. And they're like, oh, this house. And that makes me feel good. Yeah. And I always put a teal pumpkin out to let them know like we're friendly to, you know, kids that can't have just regular candy. Okay. Like that's cool. What a teal pumpkin means. Like you're gonna be nice to the kid no matter what.
I love that.
I mean? Yeah. So I put a teal pumpkin out if you're cool peeps. And if you're not cool peeps, get cool and put a teal pumpkin out. Because everybody should be able to enjoy Halloween.
Right. And older kids.
And older kids.
Leave them the hell alone. Let them go trick-or-treating.
That's right. Because if they're not trick-or-treating, they're going to be egging your house or getting drunk. Let them go trick-or-treating. Like, don't be stingy with that candy.
Also, I'm so excited to go trick-or-treating this year because I have a 4-month-old, which means I get all that candy. Oh, he needs candy.
He's so heavy. Do you want to give me something to keep me going?
Right.
I need a sugar rush.
Oh, I'm going to be pushing him in a stroller. And I'm like, yeah, trick or treat. But Theodore, unfortunately, my second is now at the age where he's going to want to eat his candy.
But you can't let him eat all of his own candy.
No.
It's not good for him and his teeth. Like, I don't say that to sound shitty. I literally mean he's going to get more candy than is healthy for a small child to eat. So don't feel guilty eating some of his candy too.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great way of thinking.
But
I'm so excited.
Dude, I'm so excited for Halloween. Lolly's first Halloween, she's my January baby. So she was older than any of the other girls for her first Halloween. And I made her a spider costume out of like a black onesie and a pair of black tights. Aww. And then I sewed with felt. I made like 4 little arms that I attached to her. So like when she moved, her little spider arms moved. It was the cutest
How old
thing.
Was she?
She was like, so she was 9 months old. Gia was 8 months old for her first Halloween. Oh, I guess Roz was the oldest. My bad, because Roz actually went trick-or-treating because she was almost a year old. and we only had one kid at the time, so we went to the actual Disney store and bought her an Eeyore costume that cost a fuck ton of money for a fucking 1-year-old's Halloween costume.
There's gonna be Spider-Man. That was
Nice.
cute.
Yes.
I like that he's like
Gia was a clown.
a clown. When she was 1?
Yeah,
Why?
when she was a little baby. Because that was the Halloween costume that we had bought for her. I don't remember. It was probably on clearance, or she liked the colors. I don't remember.
That is so funny. Dude, I don't know what my youngest is going to be. He's going to be like 3 months.
You can make him like a worm. Like, it's so easy with babies. Yeah, like you just wrap him up in like a gray blanket.
They literally
or a
just
pink
sit
blanket.
there.
Yes, exactly. I'm just saying. He's going to be cold, like, because this year's obviously going to be cold come Halloween, right? You just, babies, easy. They're easy.
I've seen somebody make their baby into like a Subway sandwich that's like wrapped up.
Oh, that's so cute. Or he could be a hot dog.
Or a burrito.
Oh my gosh. That was so cute. That is so funny. That is cute. You could get him a little like hat that looks like lettuce or hot sauce or something, and he has a burrito.
He's so small though. There's not like any costumes at Walmart.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I'm like, you can just wrap him up in a special kind of blanket, and that's his
like he's a worm.
Costume. Yeah, he's a worm. He's a whatever. I don't know, but like, so you can't think about cauldrons and not talk about Halloween, right?
I know.
I mean, all Halloween iconography has some witch in a cauldron.
Well, and Samhain too. When I think of Samhain,
for sure. I think of doing stuff with my cauldron.
Absolutely, whether it's 100%. Making a kick-ass stew. Because let's just be clear. I'm seeing potatoes. I'm seeing carrots. I'm seeing like melt off the fucking bone beef stew meat, and then next to it, you've got a piece of bread with some homemade churned butter.
Well, I'm totally Slavic because I'm seeing borscht with like the beets and the potatoes and the onions and oh my god, borscht is so good. It's so good.
I've never had it. I don't like beets. Are the beets super strong?
No, they're like really. It's not like a canned beet at all. It's like a potato's red cousin.
It's not sweet.
No.
Huh. I have to try that. But the thing is
so good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
I kind of want to make borscht in a cauldron now.
It's that time of year, y'all. Witches be cooking.
Yeah, it's stew season. It's soup season.
It's chili season. That's exactly what I was gonna say with cinnamon roll.
Yeah, my mom for Halloween we always had chili.
Oh,
my mom always made chili for Halloween. Like it was our Halloween meal.
Unfortunately, it used to be really cold during Halloween. But
yeah,
now
not so much anymore.
So much.
Yeah, when my kids still ate chili, I kept the Halloween chili thing going for a long time. But then once I was working, chili's like a pretty extensive meal to make, So we switched to pizza. Because did you know that the pizza night, one of the busiest nights for pizza joints is Halloween?
Oh, I believe
Everybody
it.
gets
and New Year's Eve, I bet.
Oh, yeah. But I used to work for
shitty,
Pizza Hut, and we had to learn
that.
to
make them drive on New Year's Eve.
It is, yeah, that is shitty. But I hated learning that when I worked for Pizza Hut, because I was like, wait, I've always got Halloween plans. Like, I don't want to be working. I got Halloween plans, man. Like, Samhain, Halloween, like, all of it. It all falls on the same day. Well, and the
thing is, I'm gonna have to bring this up as well. This bothers me because at every place I've worked, I've asked for Halloween off, and I've tried to explain to them it's for religious, purposes, and bitches want to act like I'm lying, or they want to act like I just want Halloween off to do whatever you want, and it's like no, it is a legitimate. It's like
one of our biggest holidays.
It's the biggest holiday. It's our fucking Hanukkah.
Yeah, exactly. It's our Christmas. I mean,
Rumspringa.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But it is, and people don't take it seriously.
No, they don't.
They
don't act
love
like it's
to live in
a
world or America or wherever, where you can ask for pagan holidays off and it be taken as seriously as asking for not working on Easter, because a lot of places just don't work on Christian holidays.
I mean,
they don't work on Christmas.
I won't lie. There are some companies that are safe enough that, because I was like, when I worked for the call center, I was like, please, let those motherfuckers tell me I can't wear my pentacle to work.
Right.
Let those motherfuckers call me out for wanting to take off one of these days, such as Samhain or Ostara.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they never disregarded it. They were like, okay.
It's
So there
for
are
me, it's the
places
big-
I wanted to be able to be that bitch or that witch,
Well,
but they didn't. They were good about it. They never,
for the
you know,
lesser known pagan holidays. It's usually not that big of a deal because to them it's just another day.
Yeah, they don't
But
care.
specifically
Like,
Samhain,
yeah,
because I feel
Samhain.
like everybody.
Samhain
asks
and
for-
Yule, because Yule is right by Christmas.
Yes,
you know, so
exactly.
it's in that same season where they
Mhm.
don't want you to take time off.
Right, and a lot of places just don't work on Easter or something like that. So
right. Well, but I mean. And Ostara is never the same time as Easter, so it doesn't.
Oh,
up,
that
you know?
doesn't even make sense. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
No,
Check out
I'm
our
just like-
Ostara episode.
Yeah, we'll bring you even more egg salad recipes next time. Right?
Oh fuck yeah! I forgot. We
I
talked
should
about
have.
egg
Oh my
salad
god!
recipes.
Should we have thought of cauldron recipes for
We should have.
food?
But like I said,
Oh
I
my
always think
God.
of some chili. We got some
Right? Like I was
But
actually
you can
thinking.
make a bread in it.
Oh my god! You can. Yeah, and you can make puddings and stuff in it.
Ooh, Lord,
Yeah.
some.
Mm.
Okay, my
Oh
mom.
my god! Think of the biggest batch of gravy ever. In
Ew.
your cauldron.
I mean,
I love gravy.
I do love gravy, but I don't know
I feel
how
like
much.
I picture myself dipping an entire chicken leg in
Oh,
a vat of
Bitch,
gravy.
we got fondue
Oh,
in the cauldron.
God. Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
Oh,
chocolate
next
fondue,
Samhain?
regular
Yes. Oh
Dude,
my
I
God.
actually love that. I think that would
I
work
do
so
too.
well
that
for
would
the
be
kids.
so great.
Be like, we dip in this cheese.
I'm gonna have to see if Corey. I think this came seasoned. I think it's already seasoned.
Like,
I might be able to
It
clean
needs
it.
to be
and-
super clean.
Yeah,
and
like
fucking-
so it doesn't come out tasting like sage and Palo Santo.
Oh my
and
god,
shit.
I would eat the shit out of
Oh
a
my
fondue
God.
pot out of a cauldron. That is fucking
That
awesome.
is
And
awesome.
then it's like little wands.
Oh my
I
god,
love
that's
that
so cute.
I would love that.
Oh my god, and you can label the stuff like Eye of Newt. You know, that
Yeah.
you're dipping in the cheese.
Right,
you know,
right.
like beanie. You have like the different, not beanie weenies, but like different kinds of those little Franks. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, I know what you're talking
Like
about.
little Smokies. That's
Yeah,
what they're
yeah.
called. And like other things you can dip
It'd be
in
like
there.
a toe up dead man's toe for little
Yes,
weenie,
a
or like
dead
you could
man's
do like
A
I
dead
don't-
man's toe. A dead man's toe. Sorry, we're still amped up from the Hocus Pocus episode. Check it out. It was
Right.
the last one.
Right, I'm so excited.
Yes.
So I do have a question. After doing all the research on this, and after this amazing episode, because I've had so much fun during
Oh my
this
God,
topic,
Yes.
will you be using your cauldron?
Absolutely. Like,
Do you have like
the
new
fact
ideas?
that I like already intuitively use it in a lot of ways,
right.
that I never knew before I did. Like that excited me in so many. Like I was so sleepy
Are you
earlier
gonna
when I
try
was
the
trying to tell you.
divination thing?
Oh, 100%
Oh, yeah.
with the. Like, you guys can't get it, sorry, unless you're like Melissa or somebody else that bought a box last year because it was a limited edition oil. But Maddie and I have the
I
oil
do
because
have it.
I make it, and I'm going to use my Unto the Veil oil
Oh
because
shit!
I use
I
it
need
for
to start
divination.
spraying
anyway.
it because I spray it for offerings, so I need
yeah.
to start spraying it.
You could spray it on the surface and see what the witch hazel and oils do with the water.
Oh yeah, that would be so.
You could use your oil and your spray. But like, I won't lie. So before we end, because I really wanted to mention this for anybody who wondered if I'd bring it up, I have this thing for cults, not because I want to be in one, but because they interest me. And there was a Mexican cult called the Narco-Satanists that the leader of the Narco-Satanists, he believed that the ritualistic killings and shit that he was doing in this little town in the middle of fucking desert in Mexico, he thought it was helping the drug cartels, right? And he worked for the drug cartels. So, this was
I
back in the
figured
80s
President-
or 70s or
Ooh,
something.
you said that word. Oh, I'm scared to continue.
This was the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
This is a well-known thing. He went and tried to like get more money from the cartel he worked with, and they were like, fuck you, your magic is not making us do better. So then 7 of that family just died out of nowhere. He started working with his other family, and then he eventually got caught, but like the other family did do better once they started working with him or whatever. But like he murdered an American, and that's how he got caught. But he had an nganga, which is an African palo. I wrote down the word because I can't remember it anymore. Palo Mayombe tool. And in Palo Mayombe magic, apparently, in the inganga, which is their word for the cauldron, you put in skeletal remains and stuff like that for like resurrection, transformation, magical purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And not only were there animal things found in there,
Mm-hmm.
but also some human remains of the victims that were killed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there was an inganga found in like Connecticut in this century,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
in the 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
that had a human skull that they think was like from grave robbing. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was surprised to read that it washed up in Connecticut. Like, that shocked the fuck out of me. And apparently, the reason it was mentioned is because, like, there's not a lot of practitioners of Santeria or Palo Mayombe in, like, the Northeast. So,
How
like, they were
random.
surprised. Yeah. Fucking random as hell. I thought that shit was crazy. I totally forgot about it until I glanced down. But, like, the bottom line is, like, to this day, cauldrons are so versatile. We still use them in all sorts of ways. So I just really wanted to mention that because I knew there was a cult that there was a cauldron involved with. So I was like, I'm bringing that up this episode. Sorry, guys. I couldn't
No.
not.
I will tell you after we get off of the camera.
Okay. It's like, cauldrons. Like, I was not
It's like the corn
expecting-
episode. It's like the corn song. It's cone. It's cauldrons. It's such a magical thing.
It is. I was so amazed at all of the stuff I didn't know.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very excited to. I don't have a cauldron like Amber does. This is Amber's beautiful cauldron. My cauldron's really tiny.
Yeah, I also have a tiny one, but like my husband.
I would love to have one like this.
He's a good gift giver. I am a shit gift giver in comparison. Granted, I have gotten him some really good ones that he loves.
Bryson's
but
the same way.
Generally, like, he's a good gift giver.
But you can help Witches Talking Tarot get a cauldron by checking out our Patreon.
Fuck yeah! Speaking of, Melissa, we love you, baby.
I love you.
Wow, that was weird. I didn't mean it weird, Melissa.
I love you, Melissa.
We love you.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please.
It would be so
Awesome.
cool to reach 100 subscribers before the end of this year.
And, like, let us know what you think of the aesthetic. Like,
yeah, is it better? We worked really hard.
We did. Just
Well,
for you.
Amber worked really hard. This is so sweet.
We have been working to bring you a better show, and if you want to help that happen, Patreon is the way to go. I love that. Well,
so mote it be.
That's right. That's a good place to end.
Yes.
So,
All right. See you guys later.
thanks for coming to sit with us for a spell.